crack and copped a lot from the Australian pace trio. Short ball after short ball, and his batting was way off the mark, but he was pretty honest with the ball in hand. And now he gets a chance to lead the one-day team to a victory. He becomes captain of the T20 team this week, so it is time for him to be the man, and he's certainly doing that. 1 for 50 from one ball short of 9 overs. Exactly what his skipper needs. He's bowled from different ends, he's been versatile and done the job so far.
He's bowled one of the balls of the day to dismiss Smith. No, leg cutter was an absolute corker. So 7 for 237. We've got 7 to go. Ask them and you guys can answer them, okay? So the first one is the next Aussie captain.
Steve Smith.
Finch, short form.
Okay, we'll roll through that. What do you call Mark Taylor Tubby?
Ever seen a photo of him?
Well, it runs away. There is a fine-legged place. So, just cause?
No, just big quads.
After this series, Cookie's dropped as captain, who, in your opinion, will take over?
Oh, it won't happen, and I don't think there's anyone obviously capable of doing the job that Cook has started.
Yeah, well, that's a tough one, because you've got maybe someone like a Bell, should the Seagulls be banned from the field. No, well, that was called for years ago, but Bill put a stop to that one.
They got the big eagle at the MCG that scares them off.
Have they?
Only it doesn't work.
Yeah, the ibis gets sent into several squares in cities to rid the seagulls or pigeons.
Now, here's one for you, Heels. Here's Alistair Cook, the most good-looking player you've seen.
Yep, he's right up there. And he was in that bachelor calendar. Well, maybe not bachelor calendar, but some calendar without his shirt on.
Who else? Who rates with his looks, do you think?
Yeah, Nathan Coulter-Niles, good sort. Jimmy Pattinson, so there's some really smoking hot batsmen to come in.
JB, any offerings there?
Leave it at the Heels.
I tell you.
Here we go. Oh, ball's in! The polls get rattled. England, they're on the verge of winning one.
They are inching towards their first bit of joy on this long tour of Australia. Surely from here they're going to get there. 8 for 239. Stokes has been good. This is 4th wicket. Rattles the middle stump of Mitch Johnson. There's a smile on that man's face, and England are moments away.
So 8 for 239. Australia needs 78. England need 2 wickets, and they're running out of overs. So Heels introduce this batsman. Who is he?
Number 6. He goes all right. Shaved arms, look at those. He's shaved up and smooth.
Right there. Oh, he's just put that away. Just for a single. We need some ice.
Good length, good length. And Stokes has been hard to get under. He's bowled very few in the slot. That's what Mitchell Johnson's after, doesn't get it. Top of middle. It's a great idea and well done. Stokes 4 for 35. Buttler, another great performer, 4 catches for England.
So there, it's just nothing coming out of the middle for Christian. He's been swinging, but really been able to get going. He's hit 1-6, but no boundaries.
Can strike and hit the ball a long way. We've seen in the BBL that this man can get rolling. And he's not going to die wondering. Dan Christian, we know, can really hit some long drops. So even though they're a long way out, they could have some fun, this pair.
With all this going on, Stokes has got 4 wickets. He's got 2 overs remaining and a chance for his second fifer in one-day international. 6 to go, 8 for 242.
Brilliant, Stokesy.
It's been a very good performance from England as Broad will finish and Christian at the non-strikers might have a chat with Coulter-Nile just to say keep the head down. You've got to go for them. That's exactly what Australia need, but try and make contact. Keep targeting straight.
Yes, because there's no fielders down there, and he plays really well down the ground. So take your risks in the safest areas, and that's down the ground at the moment, over short mid-wicket, over cover. There's boundaries are protected square of the wicket, but not straight.
Here's another bet. So go up to that one. Yeah, that's A.M. Broad using them perfectly. Big surprise, Coulter-Nile at the last moment, ducking under that.
Displeasure of the crowd here. Not happy at all with that call. This is a local boy.
Broad doing a good job. 2 dot balls. Last few overs have been nowhere near the run rate required. Sits above 13 now. That's a leading edge down towards third man. Morgan doing the mopping up. Just a single. Not good enough for Australia.
Australian batsmen have found it very hard to get the middle of the bat to the ball in this innings. Aaron Finch aside. Saw Glenn Maxwell, who normally has no problem doing it, chunking him everywhere. Wadey really battled to get rhythm going in his batting. George Bailey probably not out there long enough. Steve Smith hit some nice shots. Actually, he looked like he was starting to move, but just haven't been able to get clean middle of the bat to the ball.
There's another swing and a miss. Exactly what you're talking about, JB. Christian there, he was hitting it into the city. That's how hard he swung there and just bounced a little bit more.
Great control by Stuart Broad to get the short ball at about shoulder height. He's bowled one already that's been over shoulder but under the top of the head height. You're allowed one in that region. You're going to bowl short, it needs to be under shoulder from then on. And it makes it really difficult to hit. So now they're making a change. Hind leg is coming up, and Alistair Cook himself is going back. See, bottom left of screen coming up. Top right has gone back, so you'd expect Broad has to pitch up a touch.
Finally he gets one. Not quite getting hold of it, but it should run away. And it's firm underneath the turf here. So there's a long-awaited boundary.
Head hitting with the wind, so I was going to take the ball away. It's been an amazing day here in Perth, actually, but strong easterly breeze all day. Normally it stops about halfway through the day and then the doctor comes in. It's been very strong coming from the old scoreboard. So you get the ball up in the air and you hit in that direction, it just gets swept away.
Yeah, Stuart Broad just got the line wrong. Everyone sort of thought he might pitch up. That would be the safest percentage play for him, having dropped mid-off back. Just got it a bit leg stump rather than outside off.
Well, there's some feelings maybe in the dressing rooms tonight. A switch of the winning feel from the Australian dressing room to the England dressing room. Taken comfortably in the deep. So it was a leading edge that flew all the way to third man, and Balance was able to take it comfortably.
They're starting to believe, these boys. Not until the last wicket falls will Alistair Cook believe. That's the sort of summer he's had. Look at this. He's going, please just end up with that ball in your hands. Well taken, Gary Balance. And it is the 9th down for Australia. Christian goes for 23 from 19 balls. He did his best. 9 for 247.
Verdict for you, who's your man of the match? Well, strong percentage saying Aaron Finch. I don't think it'll go that way, given that it should go to an Englishman, given that they will seal this one up. At some stage, you would think they're just under 5 overs remaining now. They need 1 wicket. And while the series is gone, it's still a good moment for them. It would have been easy just to turn up. Not think that a winner's important, but with the World Cup and just the pride that you need to play for, so important that they put a good performance together. Stokes, 4 wickets. Can he get a fifer?
70 runs as well. He's led from the front. Ben Stokes, Stuart Broad's kicked in. 2 for 56 from 10. And a lot of the bowlers are in the 5 runs per over category, but that's what happens when you've got 316 runs to play with. The opponent has to come at you, and they've done it. It's a harsh public, that's for sure. They've got Finch more popular than Stokes for man of the match.
Struck nicely from Coulter-Nile, straight to the man, and that's the captain himself. Can he celebrate with his boys? I don't think it'll be a massive celebration, but at least they can go in and just feel something different.
Yeah, and there'll be lots of people at homes, around Australia saying, well, if England were ever going to win, it was today. Australia resting 4 of their top-line players out of this side, but you still got to do it.
Pushing hard for the 5th wicket here, Stokes. I'm going to Stokes for man of the match, given the half-century and these 4 wickets. Hard to pit Buttler, though. That was a match-winning innings at the end. That was extraordinary hitting. So if it went that way, I could understand, but my personal vote would go to Stokes.
Yep, I'm with you. It's a great way to start a long weekend, though. Whoever gets man of the match. Australia Day weekend coming up.
Well, Buttler's got 4 catches as well, so he's doing what he needs to do behind the stumps. And in 2 days' time, it'll be Australia's Day, and it'll be a good celebration all around this country. And we'll finish off the Carlton Mid One-Day International Series. And, we look forward to seeing you there. Tickets, cricket.com.au/tickets. Looking forward to it. Pattinson playing this. 9 for 249. It's a gorgeous night in the West. And this game is closing out rapidly. 1 wicket to England. As Jordan comes back into the attack, so he'll bowl his final 2 overs. If required, England would like just a little bit of an early mark. No wicket for 50. Broad is being replaced after 10 overs, 2 for 56. So good job there.
Yeah, he did. 2 for 56 doesn't sound good enough for how Stuart Broad went, but that's what the whacker can do to you. Talked about the Australia Day weekend. There's cricket festivals everywhere around the country in these long weekend, in the middle of the cricket summer, and wonderful Ashes summer. It's been the Goldfield Ashes up in Charters Towers, where they get 130 teams. The Summer Home Festival around the Laidley area too, that spring to mind in Queensland. So I wish all those participants in all festivals and regional tournaments around. The Butcher and Baker take on the Candlestick Maker. They go all right and have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a big day, isn't it? Massive day. And that wide, bringing up the 250 for Australia. Now, getting back to Broad, his last 3 overs went 1 for 14. And this could be it. England are going to win. No, they're not. Not just yet. Stokes the man. He wants to get the 5 for maybe. He puts it down, he'll get another bowl.
And James Faulkner is sitting in the sheds going, that's the karma train running you over. What about Alistair Cook? He's the man I feel for. He's just sitting there thinking, we have to win this game. Look at this man. He can't believe it.
Well, the tour has been plagued with those sort of misses, but it won't cost them, I don't think.
Oh, well, it was 57 when Clint Mackay came and joined James Faulkner in Brisbane. There's 66 to win now. There is a bit more to do, but...
Yeah, that's, there was a little bit longer. But really, that should have been taken immediately. Just like to jump in a hole about now. That is a bad feeling. Straight down his throat.
It would have been nice for Chris Jordan to pick up that wicket too. He's had his struggles with the bowling crease tonight. 8.2 overs done for 52. You beauty, I've got a wicket. Oh, hang on. What's he doing?
It went straight through the mids. I don't think it hit much flesh on the hands. It was straight into the knee. That right leg inside thigh. It just needs a little bit of a bruise as a reminder. All that was in the outfield. Easy to do, though. Always looks easy. That'll be a wide. That's far too short.
Again, great entertainment for everyone here at the Wacker, as well as watching at home. Close to 600 runs in a one-day international again. Some unbelievable batting from Buttler at the end of the England innings, and then Aaron Finch just exploding for Australia. It's a high-quality product.
Over the game, it's motoring along, isn't it, running into the World Cup? It's exciting times. Great to see so many people wanting to turn up to the venues to watch it. And nice to be talking up England. The fact that it's been a long, long, hard tour. Australia have been all over them, and finally there's a few things aligned for them today.
They certainly have. Well, Australia just haven't had the answers. What about Australia? We were number one for one night. Now we drop back to number two with this loss. Knocked off the champions. Laying into that one, just a single. Just giving another opportunity to Stokes if Warden just can't snap a wicket in the next two deliveries.
What's the celebration going to be like from this English group? How long's it been since they won a game of cricket?
The players or the fans?
Both.
The players. No, I think it'll be in perspective. I think they'll be happy, and they'll appreciate the fact that it is a different feeling, and they've been rewarded for a really good start to the day. It was brilliant batting, 316, and the fact of the matter was everyone came out and did something. After the start, and that was to Cook, he started like a train. Bell was going nicely. And then Buttler at the end, that's 71. But, you know, you've got contribution. Apart from Buttler and Bresnan, you get that. Everyone was out there doing a job, and that's what Australia haven't done. You've got one man standing out at 108, no one else really going with him. Wade made 23, but that was 42 deliveries faced. They never got themselves on a roll. Here we go again. Another opportunity. Who's under it? Balance. Oh, he won't get there. Let's just bowl the 50 overs out. 9 for 256. Balance. Looked balanced. And then at the last moment, he was unbalanced. Didn't get there.
I think that was an F word reading his lips. Don't know whether he completed it or not, but Gary Balance looked stressed, didn't he? He looked very stressed from about the first three steps.
Yep. Fire truck.
I'm not sure how many syllables he completed behind his hand. It did start with F.
So Bresnan now. Stokes doesn't get the fifer. He's not been able to finish off his 10 overs. Maybe that's just because he dropped that catch. And it's like, well, you don't get a chance to bowl that 10th and therefore get a one-day international fifer. Would Cook have done that?
Is that a little hot spot on the top of his bat there as that goes through? I think he might have got a piece of that.
Was that out? What is going on? Now that's been clubbed. A 48th over, 2 to go after that, and 59 runs required.
The fact that he jammed the bat into the ground is probably what saved him, but if you have a look at the hot spot, there's definitely an edge at the top of his bat. There we are.
Yeah, definitely an edge. And it was a half shout. You'll just see the light. There it is. Definitely an edge. So that should have been the end of the game.
Bresnan was pretty confident. He thought he'd heard more than just the disguising of the bottom edge hitting the pitch, but he didn't bother to go through with it.
This is just extending the agony for Alistair Cook. Inquiry from the bowler. As I say, the thing that was causing the problems was the jamming into the ground. Umpire didn't want anything to do with it. For a ball, or as good as required from now, so there's a lot of work for this final pair to do, but he just wants to see the wicket fall.
Nice to see another high ball or two.
Well, keeper calling it. Who's calling it? He's got a chance, and he takes another one. Buttler's got 5 catches. And England have finally won one on this Australian tour. It's been a tough time for them, but it's happened the right way for them at the Wacker.
And while Ben Stokes got dragged from the attack, Tim Bresnan deserves it. His night was superb as well. The ends with 3 for 45. Buttler 5 catches and didn't take some catching.
Well, you know better than anyone, Hills, what it's like to be parked under one of those, even when you've got gloves on. It went miles up in the air. A great feeling for the English players. They've had a nightmare on this tour, let's be honest. But they're going to enjoy themselves today. That's gone. Look at that.
He turns, he runs back, then he has to go left, and then left at the last minute. And he makes up for the drops by Stokes, followed by Balance. We're home.
Still wasn't sure that was going to be taken, Corky. But there you go. It's a big win. A bit too late in the series, but nice experience for England finally. It's been a tough road, and so many meetings, a lot of practice, and it all comes down to their start. They were sent in. So George Bailey winning the toss, saying England bat first, 8 for 316, and Australia in the end 259, and a big innings to Aaron Finch, 108. England winning by 57 runs. We'll take a break, and then there'll be the presentation. We'll talk to both captains and announce the man of the match.
Some sort of a smile on Alistair Cook's face. A convincing win for England this evening. And first up at our presentation is the Australian captain, George Bailey. Well, for once, things didn't go as planned.
No, they didn't. No, we were outplayed today.
Would you have chosen to field again if you had your time again?
Yeah, I would, yeah. I mean, looking at that, you might not, but I certainly think there was plenty in the wicket, and we probably struggled to control the ball a little bit. I think we ended up bowling 16 wides or something for the innings, which just, it hurts your tempo, I think, a bit in the field. So they got off to a flyer, and we probably did well to in there and claw it back to 316. At one stage it looked like it was going to be about 350.
Some new faces tonight, and some more senior guys not here. I wonder if that upsets the rhythm in a way.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I mean, I think ideally you'd want, you know, the same team playing every game if you can, but that's not the case, and what it did throw up tonight was some opportunities.
And James Pattinson, he's an example of somebody who's been given those opportunities but hasn't played a lot of cricket and is a bit rusty because of it.
Yeah, a little bit, and I think the other thing about Jim is, and I wouldn't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I'm not sure he's actually played that much one-day cricket. You know, I think he's been predominantly looked at as a four-day bowler, both at state level and internationally. So I think he's learning the game. I still think bowlers are getting used to that four-out, and I don't think we've quite nailed down our depth bowling as yet.
You came in the face of a pretty good performance from Ben Stokes. He's a shining light for England on this tour.
Yes, yeah, yes. He's gone from strength to strength, and someone who just loves the contest, and I'm sure Cookie loves having him in his side.
So Adelaide, the last 50-over game, it'd be nice to win that and go 4-1.
Yeah, Wood pumps back, so he'll assume the mantle, and yeah, but hopefully we win that one and then get back to our best.
You won't have to be interviewed by me.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks, George. Well done, mate. Very good. Now, the choice of man of the match in the end was pretty straightforward for a convincing performance with both bat and ball. England's most promising cricketer of the tour, Ben Stokes, is tonight's Carlton Mid man of the match. Well done, Ben. The good news is that Carlton say the cheque is in the post. It's just lost somewhere in the post on the way here, but we'll get it to you in Adelaide. Well done. Very good performance tonight.
Yeah, it was a whole team performance. You know, we batted really well. Cookie and Belly started us up front, and then Morgs and Joss at the end there got us up to 300. And then I thought we were really consistent tonight and put a lot of pressure on with the ball.
You obviously like playing cricket in Perth.
Yeah, I've done all right here. But no, just keep looking ahead and try and keep putting in some performances.
Every time we see you play cricket against Australia, we suggest that you love the challenge.
Well, I do, yeah, I love the challenge in every game. But you know, it's against Australia, you know, the old foes it is. But I'm really enjoying it at this moment in time.
A difficult tour for England in so many ways. Is there a chance now for you all to enjoy tonight?
Well, we start again on Sunday, so now you're really professional about that. But now we're going to enjoy it while we can. First win on tour, so we're really happy.
One other thought, how much is playing here giving you good experience for next year's World Cup?
Well, it is, because you get used to the conditions, and you know, you become accustomed to the way you play, and you get that experience that you need out in the middle.
And with bat and ball, you're looking good, Nick. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Ben Stokes, tonight's man of the match. Right, at last. Well done.
Thanks.
Relief?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had this feeling, and there's a couple of drop catches at the end just made us wait a little bit longer, but all in all was a pretty good performance.
Must be annoying for you to know that your team can play that well.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a frustrating tour like that. We have played a long way below our potential, and then you see glimpses like today, where we know the standard we can play to. So the good thing is we know it's there. We haven't for some reason been able to access it on this tour. But when you see people the way they perform today, we know we're not such a bad side.
Looks like you got a jewel in Ben Stokes.
Yeah, he's had obviously he likes playing the whacker, doesn't he? 100 and a 6 in the Test match, and then 70 odd and a 4 for here. So he's an outstanding cricketer. He's still quite raw, obviously, but what he does do, he competes every single ball. You know, he's that bowling at the end. Compared to having at Brisbane, you see how much he's learned from that experience and how much didn't shy away from that challenge today.
It was the case of a number of people. The other fellow I've been impressed with, just for courage really, is Chris Jordan.
Yeah, again, he's had a tough start to his international career in terms of, I think that was his first win, he was just telling me, but he's got a lot of potential there, and what I liked about him again today, his first few overs, he didn't bowl as well as he liked, but he dusted himself off down at square leg, and then he came in and ran in hard and bowled really well for the rest of the game, and you need characters like that who are prepared to take the good times and the bad times.
You better go to Adelaide and show this isn't a fluke.
Without a doubt. 3-2 sounds a lot better than 4-1.
Thanks, Alistair. Well done. Congratulations. Well done to Alistair Cook. It's been a difficult tour for him, but he's held himself together. He's had to do a whole heap of interviews, and he's always retained his dignity. Tonight, he can celebrate a win. We go to the Adelaide Oval on Australia Day, Sunday the 26th of January. There are just a few tickets available. Keep an eye on that, cricket.com.au. Smash tickets. We're live on air, 1:30 Eastern Time. The news is that Australia are now 3-1 up in the series because England finally had their first win of the tour. Goodbye.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.